Bluetooth died, monitor died. Sorry. All right.
No worries. I'm recording now, by the way.
Okay.
So, are we ready? Are you functional now?
Yes, I'm functional now. All right. So I guess there are two main things we probably want to talk about today. One is our the capture macro. Sorry, not the macro, but the capture clause. I went through the discussion that's happening on TLang, so maybe want to go over that a bit. Okay, there haven't been an update since I looked at it, I guess, which is nice. And then also Chris started working on diagnostics, and we probably want to discuss how we want to word things. So, oh, and big thing was patterns got merged, and patterns are now fixed on.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So, 1 second. I will share my screen, or Chris, if you want to do it, go for it. You should do it. And
all right, I will host disabled participant screen sharing.
I tried to figure out a way to change that, and I couldn't, but just give me a second, and I will do so. Advanced sharing options. Okay, you should now be able to.
Okay. So this is just, yeah, so we kind of, how am I going to word this? Yeah, like, how do we want the error reporting to be? So kind of, like you can see here in this test, this is 2. I'll open that.
you, I think, have to click view file.
Yeah. That always gets me. So this is just like a simple example where we are borrowing something that we shouldn't be allowed to borrow.
Okay, I see. This is one where, in particular, the reason that you borrow the whole path is distinct from the reason you borrow it mutably.
Yeah. That's where all the interesting stuff happens as far as this diagnostics goes. So I was talking to Amin, and this is kind of
what do we say
what
now?
we came up with, and it's kind of ugly. So mutable here, mutable borrow occurs here, it's an enclosure. And then we're kind of pointing at this thing which causes it to be mutable. And then we're saying that the whole path is captured here.
Yeah.
And up here, it points to this P rather than what we're kind of pointing at.
I think what I'd like to see is a different message.
Yeah.
I'd like to see something like the first label being P is captured because it is used here, and the second label being P is mutably borrowed because of its use here, or something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's the same basic idea, just phrased with less like relative pronouns, where the user may not know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's what we were trying to do. The way diagnostic code is written right now, everything is like sort of passed around like strings. So it's it would require a bit of rework too. Yeah. Okay. That's
yeah, like this part that has P is passed in as a string, I think.
Yeah, I think most of this is like passed in as a string, or if not.
Yeah, it might be a little awkward.
Yeah.
It's gotta be possible, I hope. I can't think of a better way to say it other than just say it.
Yeah.
Maybe just P is, yeah, I guess P is used in the closure here and P is mutated in the closure here. Something like that. I don't know.
I feel like
Yeah.
we can go with
Getting
what.
the-
Or closure requires mutable access because of use here. Something like that. We have to kind of
Yeah.
explain to them what I'm trying to. It's hard for me to do, but put myself in the shoes of a Rust user who doesn't understand what's happening here. Think about what.
I feel like it's more. Oh, go ahead.
Go on. No, go on.
My point was like it's also like difficult when you have a longer and larger closure, even for like a person who knows this. It's a little.
It's nice to. I mean, to find the spots. You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. We should call them out.
Yeah, I think regardless of what we do, we would have to change how diagnostics and all that information is pipelined across.
I'm debating about including. There's something repetitive about saying P is captured because of its use here when you've underlined P and like the. But otherwise, I don't know what to say. Like, what is the noun we can use that makes it clear otherwise?
I think the right noun to use is like you're saying. It's just the P here. Name of the
I think
variable.
so too. And usually it's a
Yeah.
pretty short path, so it's not like so difficult. Do we want to take some notes somewhere? Or are you taking notes?
Can add this to the diagnostic ticket.
I think you should keep in mind something like, yeah, I think P is captured because of its use here and P is mutably borrowed here, or something like that. Is good. And the rule of thumb should be that they can be read in any order, like as much as possible, read in any order and sort of independently from one another. So which is captured is sort of unclear, like what is which even talking about?
Yeah. I think originally we had this line
The first time we did.
below this, and then we swapped the order, and yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly why you should try to make them.
Yeah. So we were trying to see if we add spans in the correct order, it makes them work, but it just figures out what's the optimal place instead of the order you tell it.
Yeah, I have a open issue to rework the diagnostics API so that you can say like ordered diagnostics and give it in order, and then it will do what it has to do to make sure that they read in order. But sort of like if it works, it'll display them as one snippet, and if not, it'll break them out. But nobody ever did it. I don't even know if it'd be a good idea. I still think it is, but.
So we had P is captured here, captured because of use here. P dot X is mutated because of use here.
Or just.
Mutable borrow P
I
dot
would
X.
say P is mutated here, but I think you want to say just saying P is mutated here is short, but there's like a missing link that we're not making for the user, which is, and you care about that because, so
Yeah.
something like P,
It's not actually mutated here, are they?
yeah, P is borrowed mutably.
Oh, I was going for the second line.
Right.
So we have two lines, right? So we have the first one, which is where we see the use of the path.
Right.
So which is P is captured because of use here. And then
Yes.
second one is P is borrowed mutably because of use here.
Yes.
Or-
That's how I think I would phrase it. Exactly like that.
All right. And I have left the comment and I'll bring in the test case. So I guess one more question I have, not regarding diagnostics, but before we jump into closure clauses, so on the other PR that was open, which was to replace our closure captures with closure min captures, there was a comment about hashing the owner ID. One second, I'm just.
Remember it.
Yeah, I'm just leaving a comment on. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Okay, I'll share my screen, and this is small. Okay, this is not the correct PR. Sorry. 1 second. That. I'll share my screen in just 1 second. And we have this one. This thing. So yeah, so we had the header owner not being used. So instead of hashing, can we just put an assert back if we can make sure that that's the same thing, or do you think hashing is the preferred choice?
Mm,
So let me open this code so it's, I guess, easier to look at.
I'd rather just hash it.
Okay, if that works.
There
Will
was
we?
no obvious place for the assert.
So there. Actually, you're right. We don't actually do this way, so we can't put another. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're
Anyway,
right.
I think it was a little bit like overly clever not to hash it in the first place anyway.
I'm assuming this will some way affect the incremental hash, or will it? How does? I guess it's not that important for what we're doing, but I was just curious. So how does the?
So every def ID, it corresponds to some path, which is canonical, like the module path essentially. And so local def path hash, what that says, it doesn't hash the def ID because that itself is not stable across builds. That's just a number, but it hashes the path to which the def ID refers. So if you're in incremental, it should come out the same every time.
Okay.
Unless they moved it to another module or something.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, so now we have our capture RFC. See, I have another small question. Sorry. So Dhruv started working on the insignificant drops. So I just wanted to check one quick thing, which was we still want dynamic types to always require drop, right? We do not want any of this to change.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't know what their drop is. So.
Okay. Yeah, that was just okay. HackMD. Is it fair, or maybe I'll just check the web. Yeah, so I feel like a lot of the discussion that happened there was like had a fair bit of context that I wasn't aware of, like around.
Yeah, there was a lot of back and forth. I would say it's suffice to say it's not a guarantee that we will take this approach.
Wait, why is this not running correctly? Wait, what happened?
It's weird.
Interesting. Okay, that worked. Yeah, so
I kind of think we should write the migrations to use let underscore equals.
That's not
and worry about like this. I still think this is a good idea, but I would rather it be independent from RFC 229 moving forward.
I see. Okay, so that would involve us figuring out the, like in this case, the diff and stuff, right?
That's right, but it's not too hard, especially if you have, I think, multi-span closures. You basically need to figure out, is there a block in the closure body? And if there is a block, you should be able to add sort of immediately after this open brace of the block, let underscore equals semicolon, right? You saw that that was considered a better D-short.
Yeah.
And then if there isn't a block, then you want to add brace let underscore equals and you need to add a closing brace. But we actually do have the span of the closure. So the closing brace probably just wants to be inserted at the kind of last character of the closure. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I think that will just work. The only thing is there's some kind of bug, or I think we don't support presently multi-span. So I think there's some kind of question of like whether to make 2 suggestions or to make a suggestion that has 2 parts. I forget. I haven't looked at the API. Maybe we can look at it together. And there was some kind of bug around this. I guess one option, the easy option, is to replace. I think I know what it is. Yeah, the easy and better option is to insert 2 different strings, like I suggested, kind of at the beginning and end of the closure body. The alternative is to replace the entire closure body,
I see.
which is actually not that bad. It's just a messier looking diff for the user. But you could, you could get the closure body. Now that I think about it, that's what you want to do, I guess. You want to get the body of the closure and look at its span, and look whether it's a block. And if it's a block, insert the let underscore equals in the very beginning. If it's not a block, replace that entire thing with brace, the old text, and then a closing brace. And I think that should work.
Yeah, that would still be a little interesting to do because you could have a really long closure itself, because like someone could just put a match and use that as an expression. So that would,
but it should work.
It should work. Okay.
And I think Rust format will run afterwards and make it look not crappy.
Nice. That's always good. Yeah. So yeah, there is that. Do I have anything else? We can look at.
It's definitely, it's fine. I was just thinking it's going to look bad in the error message, but who cares? Yeah,
that's what I was thinking as well. Is like when you have 2 different ones, which is one is just like a closing brace, will feel very weird.
It's going to look weird, but I think it may even be, you only see this, like the tool is the one who looks at that error message, not you. So
that's fair.
So who cares?
Is there an example for this previous things?
Yeah, there should be. Let's see. Good question.
Or like name of the API that I can just then dig through the code.
Let me try to find. I think you want suggestion applicability, span suggestion. Yeah, search for .span suggestion.
Oh, in the code base. Okay.
I could send you a link if you want.
Yeah, I think that would be nice. We can just leave. I'll leave it on the ticket, and I'll leave this span suggestion.
Well, here, open this link.
Is this on the Zoom chat or?
I'm gonna put it in the Zoom chat.
Okay, now I need to figure out where. Okay, that's where that goes. I see.
So this is one where it replaces the entire expression with empty string, so it just removes it.
Oh, I see.
But there's another call. There's a way to get the text of a span.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was in one of the type description PRs they were using something similar.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a good like.
I'll put this in.
Notice that machine applicable, that means sort of what it sounds like, that it should be, your code should still compile when you're done. Oh, here's a good example. Let me give this to you.
Okay. Leave these here. Separate issue.
Here's another one.
Yeah, there wasn't.
The last one is maybe the best. I just sent you. Because that's actually a lint, and it's the din lint So
Oh, not this. So we have this one, which is
yeah, so here you see the first line, if let OK snippet, that gets the text. Snippet is like the string,
Mhm.
and then it does a suggestion. But if you, this one's maybe incorrect because I guess it might not compile. If you look at the last example, it kind of puts all that together. The last link I sent.
this one.
Yeah, this is the din lint. So you can see that it loads the snippet,
Mhm.
puts din in front, but sometimes it's not machine applicable because it's like we couldn't, in the case of an error, we couldn't
With the snippet.
put the snippet, so we just stick that. You might want to do something similar. I don't know, but
Yeah, fair enough. I'll hold on 1 second. I will. Is it this one? Yes. So one, this was AST lowering. That one. Okay. What do you want to do is if for providing suggestion, if would.
I mean, the simplest thing, I guess, is to just always insert the block. But that's kind of crappy. Shouldn't do that.
I'm assuming the rest format will kind of get rid of it, but yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know the rest format would get rid of that.
It is possible someone might just have a setting that prevents them from running.
You could write that as a first version.
I think that's what we discussed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not this. That.
You don't need the closing brace.
Wait. Oh, right. Wait. Not here. Yes. And I'll probably just create a separate issue for actually doing the suggestions, but for now, I think this is good. Okay, so there was an ICE in the migration code. I am not too familiar with folding, so I feel like this is something to do with that. So we have this if let block which drops A, and the reason this error happens is if I run this 1 second backtrace is oh wait, why can I not increase the window size? I can't. Okay. Yeah, so it fails when we're trying to fold the type. So the way this works is it will try to fold A to resolve the type completely and then check if it needs drop. And yeah, the error we end up at is, where did the error message go? Oh, 1 second, I'll just do this. Let's easier to read. It's something around regions not being resolved. So yeah, region resolution not performed. So I'm assuming we are calling fold sooner than we should, is what my guess would be, because we do this before write back in type check.
Mm-hmm. Can we get the backtrace?
Yes, let me get the backtrace. So it basically dies the moment it goes into super fold with. I can
No, but the problem is earlier than that. It's that, what is this fold tie from right back resolver?
Okay, so I guess let me just open the code.
Yeah.
Do I have a network somewhere? I'll. We have this, and then let me just open right back as well. So resolver just really calls fold with die. It just folds, calls type fold. Okay, yeah. So resolve does this.
Yeah, but why are you, or how are you calling that from?
So, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that happens here.
If not,
Oh,
no
no,
regulations.
sorry, wrong function. This one.
Because it needs to know.
So to know the type, so before I can do a needs drop check on it, I need the type to be resolved.
Yeah,
So-
you don't need the regions though. You should use a different function.
Oh, which one?
You can use, I think it's called fold inference variables if possible,
Oh,
or something like that.
Right, because you probably didn't do region check before this. Fold.
Yeah. I'm searching resolve vars if possible. That's what it's called. There you go.
I see. Okay, that is nice. All right, I will leave a comment here. I think that is all I have for this meeting. Yeah, do you guys have anything else?
I don't.
Okay. Well, this is cool.
Yeah,
We're getting really close.
This is, yeah, we're getting pretty close.
I'm a little
Alright.
disappointed about the let underscore equals, but I think it's the right thing to do for now.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out later.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much.
Cool. See y'all later. Bye.
See you.
Thanks. Bye.